Hi guys, it's Lone Gamer UK here. Something slightly new for a video today. I will be doing some more Cold Waters with the Trafalgar class today. But I bought an old game on Steam that I used to like playing a lot, SuperPower 2. I'm going to be playing this as the UK, naturally. And yeah, so it's an old game, 2004, so the graphics are a bit but yeah, it was a fun game. It's a geopolitical war strategy game. You know, you can win by economics and military. You do some economy management, country management, relations, and so I thought I'd give it a go today. So probably not too long a video today. We're gonna just start off our campaign as the UK. So we're gonna have a look at what we've got and the controls, and start to try and look at our economy. And some of the first things we need to do is try and pay off our debt and get more economically strong so that we can build up our forces and our influence on the globe. So this is SuperPower 2. As I say, it's an old game, 2004. It's on Steam for $8.99. I wasn't sure it was going to work on Windows 10, but it does. For me anyway, so that's good. So yeah, so we got the globe here, and we have a day-night cycle. It just rotates around. Pretty good for its day. We can move around here on the globe map in the bottom right hand corner by clicking, zooming around. But we can just drag and move the globe where we want to. And that's maximum zoomed out mode there. And then you can just zoom on into part of the world that you're looking at. So these blue stars are like the capitals, so that'll be London, that'll be Dublin, so on. Brussels, Amsterdam. That's the maximum zoomed in mode, so Vale of White Horse, South Oxfordshire, Wokingham. And where do I live? Somewhere around here. That's not on the map, but just around this area in Surrey. Just inside the M25. So yeah, so this is the interface. So essentially what we've got is we've got time compression. This is the event window and text here. We can contact other countries, look at them and look at their information. So for instance, if we wanted to click on Ireland, we can click more info. We can have a look here at Ireland. Infrastructure is just over 50%, telecommunications, population. So we can get country on the data country here by clicking and looking at the more information. We can click relations. We can close these boxes, open them, move them, do whatever we want with them. So we won't go into that just right now. So yeah, we've got the politics window. So we'll have a look at that. So constitutional form. So if we click more, so we've got a multi-party democracy. But you can change these. You can go to dictatorships, monarchies, theocracies, single party democracies. Yeah, depending, you know, how aggressive you want to play in the game or how you want to do things. Some of these, you know, give benefits by doing certain things, and talks about the next election. So in this game, we did have a date come up. We're starting at the 1st of January 2005. So that's our constitutional form for our country. We've got our ideology, whether we're left-leaning or right-leaning. That changes by things that we do with our laws. So we've got information here about our religion, our laws, what's permitted, what's unlimited and what's illegal. Political parties simulated here. You know, we could make I don't know, the Party of Wales illegal. Wouldn't be very popular with the Welsh. I've got some Welsh roots in me, with my grandmother being Welsh, and she wouldn't be happy with me doing that, so I won't. And then we've got some stuff here about migration, about how many people are coming into the country and exiting the country. So we've got more people coming into the country than out. In this political times, some people might want that the other way around, but certainly in this game, if you've got people coming into the country, improves your taxes and some of the things, but can cause some pressures. We've got languages information here. So that's our laws. I might actually change some of our laws on like same-sex marriage not permitted. Well, in the UK now, as in a lot of countries, same-sex marriage is permitted. So I'm going to go ahead and change that just to bring it up to, might not have been a case in 2005, but it certainly is now. Anyway, so we've got let's just put our approval rating up a little bit. So you've got your country approval rating, pressure. So this is, I think, world pressure coming at you from outside nations and the politics going on, the stability of the country and the corruption in the country. And then we can go to treaties and have a look at the treaties that we've already got existing. Playing the UK, we've got quite a lot of treaties already set up. So if we look at the Austria group, we've got a noble cause with the Australia group. We can look at new treaties and set up new treaties with countries. These will help our standing with other people. Then we've got our military window. Now the military window is quite interesting. I'll see how this game goes, but certainly when I played it before, it's worth waiting on the military stuff until you've got a bit more money, paid off your debts and things, and we'll cover all that in the finance bit in a minute. Being the UK, we've got a fairly strong military force, and we've got nuclear weapons. Not a big military force, and maybe not as modern as we have now, but probably more soldiers and land forces. So we've got these sort of ranks here. So we're ranked 4th in the world for naval and 6th for air, but only 26th for land and 46th for soldiers. So what we can do with our conventional forces is buy them, build them, research them, or design them. Researching and designing is something we want to look at, and we can deploy them. So just a quick look at each of these then. So buy. So for example, if I wanted to go and get a M2 Bradley, and it tells you here that the sort of stats for it. So it's £839,000, total of 162,000. If I buy 162 million, I think that is, because that's looking like I want to buy 258 of them, which I certainly don't. And you can type that in. If I wanted to buy one, we can do that. So I'll just go ahead and buy one just for the heck of it. So you can buy things like that, but they do have these sort of stats here. You can build them. So if we wanted to build a tank, and we wanted to build a Challenger 2 tank, we can make it high priority, we can set the speed, the unit costs, and it gives us a certain amount of days. So yeah, we got artillery guns, mobile launchers, infantry, air defences, we got air, we got naval, and we got our nuclear weapons. So if I wanted to get a ballistic missile submarine, Vanguard class, SSBN, you know, pretty expensive, like it's 1.8 billion. 90 billion if I want to buy 50 of them. Well, we won't want to buy 50 of them. Anyway, I'm not going to buy any, make any of those at the moment. Then we've got research. So research is something we kind of want to do because you want to ultimately get all these blue bars up to maximum for each of your technologies. They take a while to do. So you've got the gun range, the gun precision. So as we're naval, I'm just going to look at this and let's have a look at. We're doing a lot of submarine stuff, so let's have a look at. We've got speed, sensors, armor, missile range, and you can adjust the financing and things in there. So we can look at the progress. Oops, ended the financing there a little bit. Didn't mean to do that. So what we can do is, let's say we put a bit more money into stealth. Then we'll start to see these blue bars go up. So we can invest research time into our forces. This is our nuclear weapons. So missile range. I'm not sure if this is our nuclear weapons. Is it nuclear weapons? Strategic, it says. Certainly believe it is. But yeah, range, precision, damage. Let's have a look at that. Financing. So let's just get the balance right. So we can tweak things like that. As I say, right now the military I'm not planning to use, and I'm not going to play those. I'll go back to how it was before. So our strategic forces, so we can be building our strategic forces. Set the speed, fast or normal, priority, high, medium or low, and we can set the quantity. We've got to research and design some of these yet to affect that. Missile defense research. Are you sure you want to start AMD program? 730 days, 30 million. 30 million, 30 billion, probably 30 billion. I don't at the moment. Thank you very much. So we've got covert actions. So these are our spies. They're all in the UK at the moment, and they give you a protection rating. You do cost quite a bit of money. But what you can do with some of these is send them to different countries to spy on other people and do covert actions. You also can save yourself a bit of money if you want by making them dormant. So they're still there, but they cost a lot less money, and it kind of lowers your. So I'm just going to make a couple of these dormant. And you can, I think you can have 10. You can build new cells, train cells. The training cells are quite a good thing to do, make them more effective. Setup costs for training is 10 million, then it'll be 40 million upkeep, and time required 4 months. So they get these little chevrons here. So I believe this one here, cell H, you can see it's got a. In fact, actually, if I want to make them dormant, save me the most amount of money. So these are my newbies. Then you get 2 chevrons, 3 chevrons. So just for this purpose, what we'll do is take cell A, and we're going to train the cell. That's going to take 4 months to move to the next level. So we'll confirm that, and they'll move to sort of veteran. Now these guys we can't train because they're already at the maximum. So these guys you can. And they're already elite. Well, actually, I think elite's the level you'd be training at. So let's have a look. What's that? what's that one called? To say elite. So these have got 2 chevrons, so we can train them up to the next level. But at the moment, I'm just going to train these cell A just for the purpose of the game and the tutorial. I've made a couple dormant to save us some money, which will decrease our protection. But then we've got strategic warfare, so this is where we do the nukes. I'm not going to, so we can prepare for a launch. We can I thought I had nuclear missiles, but I think I might have to build them or whatever. So, you know, if we wanted to take out Afghanistan, and we can do countrywide, or we can aim at the military or the civilians. You can select how many nuclear missiles, whether it's a total attack or a partial attack, and I've got none available there. You can get suggested options, and then you can prepare for launch and do all of that stuff, which we're not going to do. The war list, this is fairly quite important. It will tell you who's at war with each other, but it will also tell you who their allies are. So for example, if we wanted to go to a war with you know, Paraguay or something, if they were allies with some other countries, there's a good chance those allies will either get involved in the war, defend them, give them economic aid, etc. So you want to pay a little bit of attention to the war list. So that's the politics, that's the military, covered on the basics, and then you've got the economy. Now this is really sort of the heart of the game, the economy window. So you can have a state-controlled economic model or free market. Certainly I think in this game the most amount of money and sorting out your economy, it's going to be best to be a free market, which we already are, being the UK. Playing the UK here, hopefully it's going to be a reasonably easier mission for us. Obviously, when you play this game and you set up a custom match, you can play anything. So things like being North Korea and being Afghanistan and, you know, Iran and Iraq and things like that are much harder countries to play, but they can be quite fun, you know, building them up, turning them into democracies and economic powerhouses. Yeah, so you can pick any country you want and make the challenge as you see fit, but we'll be staying with the UK theme and playing UK for this one. So you can see here that we've got economic health 48.2%, which isn't brilliant, so we do need to improve that, and if we can, get it all the way over there to the right. So we've got an income here of I don't know if this is trillions or billions. I'm lost counting my zeros here, but our income is less than our expenses, so we're losing money at 103. Yeah, I think that's billion, so we're losing like 103 billion. And we're in hole, we're in debt for nearly 300 billion. We've got good resources and trade now. You can affect these quite a lot. So if we have a look at economic health, this is our GDP, our gross domestic. So essentially this is the money that we've got coming in, and our tax rates, our unemployment rates. So if we can approve these. So right away I'm just going to put my approval rating down, but I'm going to put my tax at 35%, and then inflation can be a maximum of 18%, and minus 12%, and we're at 2.4%. Our interest level, our inflation is 2.4%, our interest is at 2%. I'm going to just reduce that to 1.8. So yeah, so you can twiddle around with your taxes and stuff there. If we have a look at our budget, this is where you control a lot of the finances. So you can see you know, the money that's coming in, the money that's going out. Trade we'll need to work on later. I'll explain that later, and that's going to be a big part of trying to help our finances, obviously our tax. So I'll put that up just a little bit. Most people do somewhere between sort of 30 and 45%, but you can play this game when you know, kicking ass at having 0% tax and still being a powerhouse. So these are our expenses. So you can see we're putting quite a lot into propaganda, but being the UK here, we really don't need that much in propaganda, and we'll try and get that down to 0. Healthcare 57 bill, that's quite a lot. I'm sorry, I'm going to kill some old people like me off. Reduce that 7 billion. Foreign aid, we're not doing anything, which is unusual because we always do. I'm going to put tourism up. Let's just close these windows down. So yeah, so this will seriously affect our money. What we want to do is start trying to pay off our debt and getting into yeah, so I've already brought it down from about what was it, 109 to minus 109 to minus 94. So we're just going to put a little bit less into research, slim down the government. We do want to invest obviously in healthcare, education, telecom and stuff as we go. Let's take propaganda down to 0. I believe environment is a very good one to invest in. I thought they said what these do. Don't know how to bring that up. But some of these expenses and stuff, they'll help your population growth, they'll help the welfare of your people, and so although you are investing money in them, they'll start to bring in more business and more people, and therefore more taxes, and you know, tourism and things like that are good. So and then because that starts to work, you can get to the stage where you can get most of the, well, you pretty much can get these all green and all to the maximum and still be able to afford it once you get into that position. But we've reduced our expenses here. We'll have a look at security. That's here, so I'm going to actually put these as dormant. So that's brought down my security expenses. Diplomacy, okay, I'll leave that as it is because that's to do with the treaties. Trade, we'll come back to that in a minute. Unit upkeep, so again here, sometimes it's worth letting some of your forces go if it's costing you a lot of money and you don't need it. So you know, we've got 85 Harriers. Disband. Oh. Thought I could disband some of them, not all of them. I've just disbanded all of my Harrier jets. That's fine because we'll get some new ones. Don't worry. Sell, you see. Oh no. Cancel. There I am, selling off some of my military straight away by accident. What I'm trying to do is actually train them. Just to reduce the numbers. We're looking at the Tornado GR1s here. That's not what a Tornado looks like, but they use some standard 3D models. New design. Oh, come back to that. Actually, yes, filtering would be quite good, like air defense. Just had a feeling that you could do partial quantities instead of the whole lots, but I'll work that one out later. So we probably reduce our unit upkeep a little bit there by me making a few mistakes. So we can see our debt, 29.5 billion, and we've got corruption. You want to get this corruption down. So if I just wind on the game a bit here, you'll see some of these numbers start to change. That's the economy window, but we'll come back to that in a minute. I'm going to apply those changes. So this is the trade window. And you can trade technologies. You can actually buy land. You can, you know, if you needed, I don't know, cocoa beans or something, we can buy a country or a part of an area in South America to help us out with our economy. That's all quite handy. What I wanted to do, I think I've missed it, is our market. The market window. Here we go, resources. So this is quite important. So if we take the first one, food and agriculture, and a lot of these have all kind of effects. You can make them state-owned, illegal, etc. So we could make drugs, for example, illegal. What we want ideally on these numbers, you'd think you'd want them green and positive. Actually, what you want them to be is 0, because then it's balanced. My understanding is if they're red, essentially we're consuming far more than we're actually making. So that means we're buying stuff and we're spending money. So if you look at let's say cereals, we're producing 7342 and we're consuming 23,270, which means we're buying, trading 12.674. Now if you can get these to 0 like this one is here kind of thing, then you're not spending the money. If it goes the other way, then we could be selling and making money from that, which isn't always bad. But it means we might need to improve our production because we're overproduction and we're sort of wasting to the country products because we're making too much. Although with some things we will want to make excess and sell it. So as you can see here, pretty much everything we're not producing enough, and you know, in the UK we don't build and make the things that we used to. So for example, if we look at tobacco. And we can make this illegal if we wanted to. We can change it to government management, private management. We can put taxes on it. So generally, if we want to increase our production, so if we have a look at cereals, we might want to say reduce the tax on it. So we take it down to, so let's say 5%. And we could increase production by investing some money. So let's increase production by 5%. And the aim is really, if you can, to start producing more of these resources so that you don't need to buy them and spend the money and then sell excess, etc. Because this will improve your economy no end. And we've got food and agriculture, we've got energy, so we've got electricity, fossil fuels, raw materials, wood, minerals, iron, etc. And we've got industrial materials, fabrics, plastics, chemicals. We've got finished goods, appliances, vehicles, machinery, vehicles. Let's have a look at that one. There we go. So we're producing 32 and we're consuming 27. So we've got a surplus trade there. Probably don't now, but we did back then. And then services, so this will be health, legal, retail, and they're all pretty good at the moment. So what we want to do is focus on some of these big ones. So agriculture and food is quite a big one because we're spending, you know, quite a bit of money on food and agriculture, and industrial materials and finished goods. So those areas are the ones we want to look at. And let's say we wanted to go to vegetables and fruits. We've got a sector tax of 16%, which is crazy. Let's take that down to say 7.5%. 7% that will do. And we'll increase production by 10%. Now this will cost us some money initially, but you know, you can click things like meat domestic consumption and see how that goes. So we're going to twiddle with a few of those, and we'll come back to this quite regularly and have a look. And that vegetables and fruit is a big one. I mean, out of that 43, 23 of that is because of that. So we're going to increase production, and we'll keep working on that to improve that stat. So we'll apply those changes. Okay, let's have a look at how rich America is at the moment. So we'll look at the relations. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the relation. 278 million. Birth rate, climate. So, got some news stories coming up here. Australia's lowered its interest rates. If we want to see them, we can see that people are playing around with their economies. We've got our big news stories there. We've got our population here, so we're going to see if we can get our population up a bit. I think the UK population now currently about 71 million. So I don't think it was as low as 59 million in 2001. I'm pretty sure it was about 64, 65, maybe a bit more. Oh, somebody's building a lot of military personnel. Got an email. And we can filter these by money. All the categories. You're asked to join the Treaty Economic Aid Canada. Let's see a problem. Countries on side. Oh, you do need to be careful. Countries on side A. There we go. Pay up to 10% resources. Importations needed for domestic consumption. So they want to buy some stuff off us from side B. Yeah, that's okay. Sometimes you need to read these because they're trying to get you, for each contributing country, aid is limited to 10%. Country receives aid. Yeah. So we're gonna join that. Economic aid is now active. I forgot how to get rid of this window now. Go back to showing the date. I'll probably want it open. That window. Get some back. Oh, I don't want to look at Morocco's. I'm gonna. Oh, looking at the wrong country here. So our balance is income, not sure if that's gone up. Expenses come down. Our balance was about 109, I think, minus 109 when we started. It's minus 89 now, so we're might need to do some more drastic things with our economy here to improve it. So look at our budget, what we can do. Still trying to see if I can amend the unit numbers rather than. Probably might do it on another screen, but disband, sell, train. You know, I wanted to sell 20 of these, not all 61. As soon as I click sell, it sells them all. I think those chieftains are my older tanks. I'm going to sell those. I've got all these challenges I don't need. It's not selling. Ready to deploy. I think something wrong here. For sale. Okay, so I guess that just takes time to sell those. Right, okay, foreign aid. Yeah, I mean, research I do want to do. I'm just wondering whether I need to do it now. Bring that down just a touch. I'm going to bring my healthcare down to about 45, 46 billion. That's going to piss off a few people, but I need to sort out the finances. I can put my environment up to 20 bill. These aren't all the same values. You know, this is nearly halfway, it's 20 billion, this is less than halfway, it's 45 billion, so you can see that education and health. You just put my telecoms to 10 bill, bring government down 20 bill. trade. Wind the game on. I mean, there is a combat window here, and I know it looks all at the moment a little bit Windows in the economy, which it often is in the first parts of the game, because you're trying to sort out your finances. Because then you know, if you can clear your debt and clear off some of this old stuff, you can then crack on with researching your military, building some of it up, and doing the things that you want to do. But at the moment, I'm still going to focus on trying to try and get into a surplus and clear my deficit, and then start trying to clear my debt. Might need to do something with my tax rates. I'm going to increase it to 37%. Need to keep an eye on this. I think I can keep over 90% here. It's not going to be a problem. Applied that tax rate. And generally I want to start bringing those tax rates down. I'll get a lot more people and money into the country by having them lower, but I need to raise them initially at the start. Try and get this numbers down. So we've gone, I think, from a minus 109 here to minus 72. I'm gonna just watch these economy health. We were about 48 or something, so we're gonna see if we can get this up over 150. See here, balance minus 67, so we're gonna see if our changes already could bring the interest rate down. We'll bring that down to 1.5%. I think I have to come out of it to apply it. While I'm doing that, I think I could probably look at doing some treaties. So let's have a look at, so we can view relations with France. Never that great. Quick treaty. So these are all things you can do. So you can view relations, you can bombard the region, you can do a quick treaty. So you've got military trespassing rights. So we can put our military into the country, we can ask them to assume our debt. Which they'll only do if they absolutely love us and are super rich. We can have a common market, a cultural exchange, economic aid, embargoes, partnership, economic partnerships. We can do noble causes. We can assume their debt. Yeah, lots of things here. So we're gonna try and do a cultural exchange. Boost diplomatic relations, so we're just going to do that, offer that. I'm going to do a few of these things, so let's have a look at let me pause the game a sec. There's I forgot what window it is. Save. Trying to remember how to bring up the window where it shows relations to everybody in a list. Treaties, no. because then we can pick on some of the countries we're not that friendly with and try and work on our relations. Not that, because that's a country. Population, corruption, unit upkeep, government stability. It's not that window. There's a ranking window that comes up where the country flags and a score, and basically how you're getting on with the country. I just can't remember where it is right now. I thought it was in politics. Not politics, but in... No. I'm sure I'll come across it sooner or later. Right, you'll already see here on resources that that was yeah, we improved it. Vegetables and fruits was minus 23, it's now minus 13. I'm going to invest some more money here. I'm going to increase it by 25%. Get in there. So expenses coming down. Invest and put it up a little bit. I can invest a little bit more in infrastructure. We'll see if we can get these all into green. Back foreign aid. Let's do that. I'm going to put tourism all the way to maximum because to max it out is not very much and it does benefit us. So we'll do that. Run this on a bit. Most countries don't want us to have a cultural exchange with Spain. Let's see if we can do a noble cause then. Countries we cancel because majority of countries refused it. Okay. Approval has dropped because that's probably because of our taxes and healthcare reductions to 90%. We don't really want it to drop much below that. We might need to start dropping some taxes if that gives a little bit of a boost. Deficit's still coming down, just so slightly. We get this economic health up over 50% here, so I'm going to bring it down to 36% and then probably bring them down 1% increments as we start to improve our economy. Yeah, we know those. Oh, refuse. Let's see what we can do with Germany. We've got all kinds of maps here, by the way. I don't know if I showed you some of these, so we can look at things like economic strength. Oh, that's how we get the relations up. Ah, that's how I do that. I forgot. Yeah, okay. So we go to thematic maps and put diplomatic relations. That's it. So we're getting on very well with the USA, Canada, Belgium. So what we can do is have a look at, let's say, Italy. There are 11. Now, if we look at that and we view relations, it's fairly sort of static at the moment, but it's not that high. So we can see if we do a cultural exchange now. This often gets blocked. We'll have a look. It's active. That's good. So Italy was 11. Hopefully we'll see that rising. Let's click back on the I'm not sure how quick it is, and it was only a small, so we had Italy 11, it's still 11. We're hoping that's going to go up. So let's have a look at Poland. Let's see if we can we'll do a noble cause for them. Active. Positively affected. Diplomatic relations. Non-members. I mean, if we were to make best friends with North Korea or somewhere or like that, obviously it can have a negative impact with other countries. But we're just having a look at some of these countries that we're do Hungary as well. These are all positive, but could be better. So quick treaty. Let's have a look. Cultural exchange. I don't know why, but these cultural exchanges often get blocked. Okay, let's try my noble cause first. Cancelled. No, they don't like that. Okay, fair enough. We know. Do a common market with France and some of these things if we haven't. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to be in or out of Europe. Let's have a look. Quick treaty, common markets. I would have thought we were already in one, to be honest. Common market. Okay. What I might not be, I might be in some treaties with some of these people. It just doesn't let me do it because I've already got it. So, paying too much attention to. I mean, you'll see here when I click on some of the countries. So I've clicked on Croatia here, and you can see their stats down here, both in money and military. Click on France, and they're all pretty much maximum. The politics are down just a notch. As are maximised. All these things give you an indication of what's going on. So let's go back home and see if we can work on any more. New Zealand, woohoo, all the way over there. So let's see if we can do a cultural exchange with them. No, let's see if we can human development collaboration. Yep, that's been done. Okay. What else can we do? Not light. Okay, we should start to see some of those relations increase. Right, okay, well we're going to continue with this. I just wanted to do a intro video for this today, starting the UK campaign. So we're going to do some more of this over the next few days. We're going to try and continue to obviously improve our finances. So we've gone down to 68, 67, 66, 65. I want to get this balance into positive territory, and then I can start paying off you know, our debts and stuff, and then we'll start building up some military forces, and then we'll see if we can get the United Kingdom back to the global world leading power that it should be, and take over both economically and to some extent military areas of the globe that we want. So thanks for joining me. We'll do a little bit more of this. If you want to leave comments in the comment section, please do so. I shall be doing some more Cold Water shortly. So if you want to see me do the Trafalgar class submarine, then look out for more videos of that coming very shortly. I'll probably do one maybe soon right after this. So thanks for joining me. It's Lone Gamer UK, and we'll see you again in part 2 of SuperPower 2. Thank you. See you soon.